Maybe something good.
So I can start recording?
Yeah.
I'm here.
Maybe something bad. We'll never know.
Come on, Audacity.
The world will never know.
The world
Cha-cha-cha.
is a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Recording. Oh, wait. I can hear myself.
Oh. Now you know the
Allow
pain of the average
myself to
listener.
introduce myself. How do
That's
I
a
fix
sweet
this?
burn. Sweet burn there, Mike.
You have something in hijack that isn't muting your own sound.
Face.
Recording stops. Silence system output. Okay.
Wubba,
That's better.
wubba.
Okay, I'm good.
Oh.
Weird.
It's like a jug band, but with no jugs.
That's Player One podcast
Except for
for you.
Greg's.
I knew that was coming.
Woo!
I was gonna make a man boob joke myself, but figured
Didn't
Mike
have
could
to.
handle it.
Thank you for letting me
Yeah,
take
okay.
that.
Yep.
I feel gooder about myself.
Mm-hmm.
Gooder.
Oh my god, it sounds like a herd
Yeah.
Of
dinosaurs running up the side of the house. What's going on?
Lego Dimensions is the game that keeps on giving and
Yeah?
taking from my wallet. Yeah, did you see
No.
what they just announced?
I did not.
Coming soon to Lego Dimensions, we have The Simpsons,
Uh-huh.
we have Jurassic World,
Uh-huh.
we have Scooby-Doo,
Uh-huh.
we have Doctor Who,
Uh-huh.
What?
and Portal 2.
That is
Oh.
an eclectic mix.
again, I ask: is there a license for which you would not purchase a Lego set?
I don't know.
Answer, no.
All I know is the Scooby-Doo set lets you, one of the items you build is a giant sandwich. So,
Nice.
I'm waiting for Lego Nova.
Is she ever gonna show up?
with the scale Neil deGrasse
Tell her
Tyson,
to come tomorrow, because like we live.
and you construct the entire universe.
You know how
I'd buy that.
honey.
It costs $22 trillion because it's to scale.
yeah, it's probably not a very bad price.
Yeah, all
You
things
know,
considered, yeah.
the,
Probably. I mean, the
the-
sun alone, Jesus.
Yeah, the cost to brick ratio there is probably
That
pretty
one's
good.
really boring to build, though, the sun. It takes ages. Do we have any more yellow bricks?
Could you hand me? Yeah, I need a 2x4
I need a yellow,
in yellow. Yeah,
and another yellow,
yeah. I need a
another yellow, and a yellow.
Oh man, no, not this yellow. The slightly oranger yellow. Wait, have you been handing me this yellow the whole time?
Oh, fuck, we gotta start over. God damn it. Tell you what, let's build Uranus instead.
Yeah. Give me that circular black piece. I'll start that one off right there. There in the center.
I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
Talking
I don't
about
know.
building giant assholes out of
Are there any
Oh.
funnel-shaped Lego bricks?
I'm sure we could construct something.
Remember that time we murdered Greg right before we started recording? That was
It
awesome.
was nice. That was nice.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. How's it going,
Sorry.
y'all?
yeah, you said, oh, yeah,
It's good.
Yeah.
it's
It's
fine.
very good.
Fine. Yeah. Fine. Good. How are you?
Assuming
Got a lot of tweets.
A lot of tweets there in the
Got a
document.
lot of tweets.
we keep everyone all show, how long has it been since we had the whole crew?
Not that long. A few weeks.
It was
Hey,
months
look.
before that, but it's been a
Greg
few
Stewart.
last time.
Yeah. All right, are we ready? You recording? Everyone doing it?
I've been
Yeah.
recording. Oh wait, it's Greg Seward that hasn't been recording.
Greg? Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just waiting for my wife.
Did you want us to start over, or are the 5 minutes of gold I've already recorded good?
That's the show. We just need to do the outro now, and we're done.
Yeah.
And
Greg
hey,
did,
Android cell phone telephone users.
Greg did an extra segment.
That's right, because I work harder than the rest of you.
What's
Well,
your
we-
extra
for
segment? I need to clear this.
It's just an interview about the Operation Supply Drop.
Oh, I'm not clearing that.
Should we? Are you gonna play it so we can record a reaction
Okay.
track over it? Oh yeah, no, that's cool.
Sure.
That sounds great, guys.
Exactly the wrong thing we want to have happen.
What?
Uh,
Does this mean you're
We
recording?
can start. I mean, there's going to be some noise around here at some point in the very near future.
That's
It's
fine.
okay because
fine.
some fucking genius decided he would start running his dishwasher mere minutes before we were supposed to record, so that's okay.
Does that person reside in the great state of Utah?
I am wearing his underpants.
Bro.
Ew.
But I
I,
just
uh,
assumed. I mean, can't you just tell them to be
exciting.
quiet? I assume your dishwasher is just an undocumented worker.
I wish.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. I'm not the one hiring illegals. Don't say wow to me.
All right. Recording? Let's clap. 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to episode 444. That's 444.
Faux faux faux.
About 45
Just keep typing 4. Eventually, you'll get to the episode.
of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, May 12th, 2015. I'm your host, Chris Johnston. With me, as always, from California, a guy who loves his ciabatta, Mr.
Let me tell you something about this ciabatta bread. You ever have some of this ciabatta bread? It is damn good. It's like eating a little slice of pickled heaven there.
You're just eating plain ciabatta
just-
bread.
I'm just eating plain old ciabatta bread. The only thing it's got on there is pure ciabatta goodness.
You don't even have any like aerosol cheese to get.
You think I'm gonna besmirch the ciabatta bread with friggin' aerosol squirt cheese? Huh?
You see, yeah.
What's writing my name and cheese on this bread gonna do to it that it ain't already doing for itself? I'll tell you what.
I don't know.
Nothing. I like ciabatta
And-
bread. What can I say, man?
I guess you do. And joining us from the Great White North is a man who is about to have a herd of toddlers run through his living room, Mr. Greg Seward.
I'm just praying they're not completely naked at that point. I feel like that's not something we want to broadcast on this YouTube channel.
Turns into a
Yeah.
whole different kind of
Yeah, not so good.
No.
And joining us from the great state of Utah is a man who likes the sound of dishwashers all over his audio, Mr. Mike Phillips.
Whatever we discussed 10 seconds before you say hello and welcome
Yeah.
are now the
Becomes the
intros.
intro. That's
Okay.
right.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's a good strategy.
It's kind of nice having CJ turn his passive aggression on someone else this week, though, instead of
Yeah. You
Oh,
sh- you
Phil,
showed
you're
up
still
on
number
time
one.
there.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Hey. So,
What?
Hey.
PT, everyone's favorite playable teaser.
That's me. That's what they call me. They be
Some
like,
people
Yo, PT.
mistakenly named it their game of the year.
Some
you
That
did.
was
Yeah.
dumb.
Well, I hope you're not for gaming conservation there, because it's going to be a little hard to.
I don't know what you're talking about. I go on eBay right now and a couple $1,000s and a
You can get a copy.
shipping will get you.
Are they
Yeah,
really
see.
going for a couple $1,000s?
I don't know.
Well,
Let me look.
People
There
are
are-
trying to get couple
That's
thousand
crazy.
dollars out of it. Yeah, so you can't even re-download PT. If you have it on your system, that is it. No re-downloading. Even if
Konami,
you, I don't know.
understand why.
I don't know. If I had to guess,
You don't have to.
What?
I'm gonna
It's a free country.
It's because
$1,500, folks.
I'm selling my PS4.
And I'm looking at the sold listings. These are not the open
Jesus
auctions.
Christ.
1,200, 1,200, 1,100, 1,500 seems to be the big one. Whoa, wait. Whoa, what? 500 gig black PS4 with PT and additional games, $2,100.
wow. All right.
Christ,
Amazing.
man.
I'm gonna theorize that because the demo uses the digital likeness of one actor,
Norman
Norman Reedus,
Hmm.
they had to pull it because they don't want to pay him more money to leave it.
That's probably true.
I want to
That's
point out
my
that this is
theory.
a textbook example of why I am totally happy to wait for the digital download future to take over. Bring on the
Yeah.
physical media.
Yeah.
The digital download future is sweet.
Yeah.
Not so much.
So good. Hey, I have PT on my PS4.
PT?
I can probably sell that thing for a cool $1,500.
Yeah, except you have to sell the whole console.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dumb.
Here's the bitter irony. I deleted it. So
Yeah,
I'm
same here.
fucked.
You're screwed.
Yeah, and
Why did you
loved
delete
I
it?
would love to play it again. Because
Why?
you gotta clean the fridge.
Clean the fridge.
When am I ever going to
Got
play
to
that
clean the
again?
fridge.
I can just download it whenever I want anyway.
Same
Exactly.
reason
Oh, wait a minute.
Same reason I wiped it out.
It's a
Clean
bunch of
the
horse
fridge.
feathers.
Download future.
I
Yeah.
don't like it.
I kept it on my system, so I'm all good.
All good for what?
For that 1,500. You know?
You're not going to sell it, so what are you all good for? You ever going to play it again?
Yeah.
Really?
I could play it again. Yeah.
Right.
Any time that I
You
want.
could.
I
Are you
could
going
just
to?
go over there behind me and play it.
Will you?
No, probably not.
No. Didn't think so.
Yeah. All right. Oculus, everybody's favorite
Rift.
virtual reality Rift. Yeah. Is going to be releasing a consumer device coming Q1 2016. They've firmed up a release
spelled-
timetable.
Is that spelled C-U-M-M-I-N-G?
What?
No,
Nope.
Family
it is
show.
not.
I-
It is not.
I am a bad speller. I don't know.
What about a price?
They have not said price.
No?
What's our speculation on a price?
Mm,
$299.
I'd go with that.
Hmm.
You're probably right. I still think if it's more than $200, it's fucked.
I think you're right.
I think $199 is sort of the threshold that people are willing to experiment with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
I-
seems fair.
What do you think Sony's Morpheus will retail for?
$100 more than the Oculus, no matter what it comes.
That seems fair.
Yes. I like that.
Would you say to Sony and their chances of success over the Oculus Dream On?
Really?
What is that? What is that? Huh?
No, I don't
didn't
have
get
it.
it. I didn't get
No.
it.
You didn't get it, CJ?
Wait, you're referring to the HBO series with Brian Benben?
That's exactly.
Good Lord.
I like having
Stay-
all of us on the show
Stay
together.
tuned.
I hate it when CJ and Phil start talking to each other.
Stay tuned for some sweet, not necessarily the news riff.
In this
Because-
episode of Dream On, you get to see some boobies, so stay tuned.
I want to see them on some sort of a weird nerd Team Jeopardy program where one of the categories is stupid shit only we watched. They would
Come
they would
on.
clean house.
Plenty of people watched Dream On. That was an acclaimed. It
I
won
was
Cable
too
Ace
busy
Awards.
watching
Come on.
Herman's Head on Fox.
Awards.
Brain Games is now over.
What were you referring to, though, Phil?
What's the name of Sony's device?
Project
Morpheus.
Okay, and what did I say?
I don't know.
Word.
You don't even remember your own stupid joke?
No, I'm asking CJ. I'm seeing if he can piece
Something
two
about a
together.
red pill and a blue
Dreaming
pill.
on. Dreaming on.
Yeah?
Do you-
I don't get it.
Oh my God! Read a damn book. Jeez Louise.
What's a book?
Exactly. It's like an e-book, but without the E.
Can I get that on my Nook?
Apple Watch.
You can watch it. Yeah, get it on your watch.
I want
Yeah.
the Kindle app for
3
Apple.
words at a time on your watch. Just furiously flipping pages all day.
Yes. Yes.
No, what's convenient about it is the Apple Watch. It's voice activated page turning. So
Oh.
yeah, so you read your 3 words and then you say turn page.
No, you have to say turn the page.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
It's not like the old Infocom games.
No.
Okay.
Went and
You can do
perused
that if
the
it's-
Apple Watch today at the Apple Store.
Siri.
It's powered
turn
by Siri,
my
so
watch.
it does repeated Google searches for Jimmy Page, just over and over and over again.
Here's what I found about Siri turn the page on the internet.
That's right. Wikipedia says. All right, so Nintendo,
I've heard of them.
they've been losing money. You know, they've
Jeez.
for the
Think they
last 4
Keep
years.
track of that. Put it in
Yeah,
a bank
sad
or something.
story. But this year, or whatever their last financial statement was, they have turned a profit.
Hmm.
So
Good
When they
for
started
them.
selling toys.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened.
even though the Wii U is struggling. Yeah. So they did their whole financial announcements thing, fiscal whatever, what haves yous, and they announced that they have 5 mobile games coming for 2017. So there you go, and the first one to hit within this calendar year.
Okay.
Pretty good, and they are working with Universal Studios on some theme park rides for Nintendo characters.
The King Kong ride is just going to become the Donkey Kong ride. They're just going to sew together a giant red tie and slap it on the animatronic monkey.
All they do is just go. They turn them all into classic Rare games and just put googly eyes on everything in the park.
The
You remember that
helicopter.
googly-eyed shark, right? Name is Sharky, I believe.
His name's Toothy. Toothy the shark.
Toothy.
So, yeah, well, Nintendo Land is coming true. It's gonna happen.
Phil is
Becoming
amusing
real.
himself thinking about googly-eyed Universal Studios backlot.
Now
Characters.
I'm reminded about an old gag. I believe it was Ethan and I had this. Was way back in the day. We were amazed at the restraint that Rare showed with GoldenEye on not turning them into big googly-eyed characters.
Just turning the game into googly eye instead of golden eye.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then we came up with the idea of the Rare character Lazenby. He was a big bumblebee with googly eyes and
Yeah,
some spy gear. Yeah,
pretty nice.
yeah.
I like it.
So there you go.
All right. So
Yeah.
apparently there is a new SKU
Mm.
of Xbox
Ew.
One coming.
I'll have a stock keeping unit.
Yes.
Yep.
With a 1 terabyte drive instead of the 500 gigs.
Digital download feature.
How much is that going to cost?
I don't know. The leak was off of a German site, and they had it up there for like €449.
That's pretty expensive.
And
Has
yeah,
it been dubbed the CJ Rock Band edition?
Not yet.
Yeah, it should
Does
be.
the Xbox One, does that have a proprietary hard drive?
It does. You can't take it out.
That word is a little hard to say when you have a mouthful of ciabatta.
God, I love ciabatta.
proprietary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, you can't. It's not user replaceable. You
You can't expand it with USB hard drive.
You can plug in a USB hard drive and expand it that way.
So they just ripped that right off the Wii U.
Well, yeah, because I mean,
Nintendo innovates again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whoever thought of plugging in a USB hard drive before the Wii U?
Exactly.
That's where they took the whole TV thing too. You know, because the TV.
Mothers.
Yeah.
Really?
No. And
I accidentally hit that button on my Wii U controller the other day, and I had no idea what was going on at first. What? I don't understand. Wii U's not working, but there's something. What's on my controller? Oh, right. I hit the wrong button.
That'll
happen.
That happens. You know what else is happening? Apparently,
Don't.
Peace in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Nope,
Come
that's
on.
not happening.
Koji Igarashi,
No.
who
Iga.
is often known as
Koji Igarashi-san.
Iga.
Ugh.
I understand he's very eager to show us this new game he's working on. Nice.
Very good. He launched a site called swordorwhip.com. It is teasing.
It's his 50 Shades of Grey fan site.
This is my
which is
kind
great.
of kink.
And apparently on Monday, so as you're listening to this, probably he will have launched some kind of Kickstarter campaign for a new game. So there you go on that. And I don't know if you saw this, but Double Fine has this series of YouTube videos called Devs Play,
Yeah.
and on their YouTube channel, and
Because they for goddamn sure aren't deving, judging by Greg's. What was the one that you kickstarted that was due in 2012?
Oh, that was Broken Age.
and it came out.
That's done.
It's done now.
Yeah.
You were joking about one last week when I listened.
No, that
to
was the one.
episode
Yeah, it was
against
3
my
years.
better
3 years
judgment.
late.
And it's out.
There you go.
But now you can watch a video, a Devs Play video with Anna Kipnis and Koji Igarashi and Ben Judd playing Symphony of the Night.
I have met 2 of those people in person.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have long yearned to watch those people play Symphony of the Night. That's
It's actually a really good video. It's like 2.5 hours long. So
Is it just
you're,
You're
you're selling me.
watch it.
You're really selling me.
But like
it's
those
Symphony of the Night.
PewDiePies videos.
It's yes, yeah.
Is it
Except
Ben Judd yelling, "Ah, rape, rape, ah, they're raping." Is that just the whole 2.5 hours?
no, that's not it at all.
That was
Actually,
like
that
my one experience with PewDiePie was just that.
doesn't
So your
happen.
experience with PewDiePie was rape?
Yeah, Greg. That's what I was saying.
Weird.
That's what
Exactly
I was
what you
saying.
said.
Okay. Well then, you can watch this 2-hour plus video on Double Fine's.
If
YouTube
they,
channel.
some of those Dev Play videos have been really good.
Yeah.
Like I know the one they did for Lion King was like. There's been a couple where they've actually had developers on.
Mhm.
That there's been some really interesting anecdotes about the development of the game and even some technical information. But then sometimes they just kind of have like a Double Fine staffer who is really interested in that game, playing it and calling it Devs Play, and it's kind of not really interesting at all. I'm hoping
This
that
one
this
is the
former.
interesting variety.
Okay.
So you should watch it.
I trust you.
Yeah. Okay. And that's kind of it that's been going on in the news. However, we were talking about cleaning out the fridge earlier
Yes.
about PT, and
This
I
is the real news.
Yeah.
reached my fridge limit on the
Oh my
PS4.
God! What happened?
Wow.
So CJ bought another system.
I went.
He's
Yeah,
got them
practical
daisy
joke.
chained together.
I went to download Wolfenstein: The Old Blood
Yeah.
and was told I don't have enough space for that. So
So what shady Craigslist deal did you pull off this time?
none.
Oh.
I did, however, order a 2 terabyte hard drive off of Amazon, recommended
Nice.
by hacker alias Corey Schmitz, friend of the show.
Love that guy.
Yeah, and
He's average. That's not bad.
So that's not bad at all. Yeah. Swapped everything out, backed everything up to another hard drive, took the hard drive out, put the new one in, did all that good stuff, and it was a surprisingly easier process than the PS3.
So how do you
That's cool.
transfer all your data over?
So
from
you
one
have
to
to
the
have another hard drive.
Witchcraft. What?
You have to have like an external USB drive that you can back up your PS4 to.
So you need 3 hard drives for this process.
That's right.
But if I okay.
So I did that.
Why?
Well, how else would you imagine it working, I guess, would be my question.
You remember when Microsoft started selling new hard
they
drives
had the
for the
transfer kit.
360? They
That
just
is the same way you do it on the PS3, by the way.
Yeah.
So just saying.
what? The transfer cable?
You back it up to a hard drive and then dump
No,
it to the
okay,
new hard drive.
I get that, but that doesn't mean that it makes any kind of sense or it's not like stupidly obtuse.
What?
Why? I don't
So
want an
did you-
extra hard drive.
So
Why
CJ,
should it? Anyway,
Did you just have an extra hard drive sitting around?
I did.
Who doesn't
like-
have an extra
he's
external
like
hard
every
drive
other
sitting
normal
around?
human in the world, apparently.
Yeah, in fact, I had an extra hard drive lying around that had my backed up PS3 on it.
Of course.
The thing that was
That's
terrible
nice.
about backing up the PS3 is you had to have a FAT32 formatted hard drive, which was not easy to find, and you would have to like format it on your own through Windows, and it was a pain in the ass.
Mhm.
Is that still the case? Does it still have to be FAT32, or is it different?
No.
That's good.
Yeah.
That alone makes it better than the PS3 version.
Fat32 was my DJ name.
But
Until
I
you
formatted-
turn 36.
I formatted it to exFAT.
Word.
Using my Macintosh computer, and it worked just fine. The thing that was giving me trouble was because once you put the new hard drive in and close everything up, the PS4 won't start without firmware installed. So you have to go and you have another USB device, a USB key,
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
and then you have to find the page on Sony's site that has the link for 2.51, but not the upgrade 2.51. It has to be the full version of 2.51.
So maybe I'll keep cleaning the fridge and buying physical media.
You have totally made me decide never to upgrade the hard drive on my PS4.
But after
Yeah.
that's done,
It's like
And like
butter.
12 more steps. It's like,
and now I've got 1.5 terabyte free.
Sweet.
I can
Download PT.
yeah.
Yeah.
wait. I can't do that. No.
That's a bummer.
So there you go.
Huh. Good job, you.
Drive. Pretty excellent.
Mhm.
Should we talk about
yourself.
what? I am.
Oh, good.
Yeah, thank you. Maybe we should talk about what we've been playing.
I'm game for that.
All right.
Game.
I got you.
You want to
Thank you.
tell us about? Nice. You want to tell us about what you've been playing?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Sure.
one named
Not very
Mike.
much.
All right.
Sorry?
Uh-oh. Did we lose Mike?
He said not very much, and then he went quiet.
And he froze. Either that
Yeah.
or he's just extremely still.
Holding. Did we lose Mike? We lost
Just
Mike, I
waiting
think.
for it. Hey, you were right, Greg.
It's good timing.
All right. Well, since Mike is gone, Phil,
Yeah?
why don't you tell us about what you've been playing?
Wow.
Actually, I want to hear first. I want to hear about this Splatoon game.
Splatoon.
I want to hear because I did not get a chance to play it.
Oh wait, Mike's
it's-
back. I saw Mike move.
Good. Let's let
Yep.
Mike talk for a while I
The
mute my microphone.
Friggin' Google app on the iPad crashes on me about 3 times an episode. Pretty sweet.
Nice.
All right.
I'm not sure why. Speaking of iOS, have you ever heard of a game called Does Not Commute?
Yes.
I have.
Have you played it?
I have not.
No.
Is
It's
it good?
kind of awesome. Yeah, it was recommended by a listener of the program. Who's
Yeah.
Hacker Alias? I can't remember off the top of my head.
That's a
He sent
long
me a tweet
hacker
and said,
alias.
check it out. It reminds me of the best iOS game of all time, Flight Control,
Ooh.
except with a twist. So you guys both played Flight Control, right?
Yes.
So the deal in Does Not Commute is it's a view similar to Flight Control, but you're controlling cars. And when the level starts out, you're controlling a driver of one car, and there's a destination somewhere on the map that you have to drive to. You have a certain number of seconds to complete the level, and there are little, bonus time pickups that you can get along the way. But what happens is you use just left and right on the iPad screen, just touching the left side or the right side to steer left and right. The speed happens automatically based on what kind of vehicle the person is driving.
Mhm.
But you drive to the destination, and then the level starts over, and you're a different driver. But the person whose route you just did replays while you're driving the new driver. And it builds on that. So by the time you're at like the 7th or 8th driver, you're trying to remember what route everybody else took so that you don't crash into them while you are trying to get to the destination of this vehicle. And it gets pretty crazy. It's really fun. The version that I'm playing is free. It doesn't allow you to have checkpoints, though, is the way they get you. Because if you want to, unless you want to restart every time, you got to give them a couple of bucks. But it's worth a couple of bucks because the game is actually pretty clever. And one of the things about it that you would not expect in a silly little arcade game like this is that every time you begin a new driver, there's a little piece of text at the bottom that says who they are and a little bit about them, and it is always kind of cheeky and irreverent and weird and sometimes kind of dirty.
Really?
Is not so it's sort of telling a story in a way, and it's a very bizarre, demented little story. But the gameplay itself is fun enough that I think it's worth downloading and playing, especially if you like games like Flight Control. The game's really cool. Does
Okay.
not commute.
I like that.
Here.
And I've also been playing, although I'm not very far in it, one of the new PlayStation Plus free downloads called Ether One. Not Either One, but Ether One,
Okay.
which is a game that was on Steam last year and just made it to the PlayStation this year, but it's been completely redone in Unreal Engine 4. I don't know what the PC version was done in. I never played it, and I'm surprised I never played it because it is a game that has me written all over it. It is a first-person adventure game. There's no shooting or weapons or anything like that. You are cast in the role of a person who works for this company that can send people, that it like reproduces 3D holographic images of the minds of people with dementia. So you're like wandering through this woman's thoughts and dreams and memories, trying to piece together a mystery, basically. But
So it's a ripoff of Psychonauts.
basically, I don't know. But you solve puzzles and walk around and gather clues and listen to conversations, and it's sort of slow and plodding and methodical and artsy-fartsy and wanky, the way I like. But I'm liking it. It kind of looks a little bit like a cross between Dishonored and BioShock Infinite in terms of its art style. It's kind of a low-poly version of either one of those. But so far the writing has been pretty interesting. It's very, it's not very forthcoming with the story. You sort of have to piece things together on your own. It's kind of enigmatic and vague, but I kind of tend to like that kind of thing in a game. So I'm enjoying it so far, and for the low price of $0,
Wow.
it was an exceptional purchase, I believe. Yep.
Not
I
bad.
don't think I've ever heard of this game.
It is free. Go buy it
Okay.
and try it. See what you think. I like it so far. It's got good music too. Yeah, it's been good so far. I dig
So
it.
how do they monetize this again? What's the biz model?
Oh, boy. I
I'm
was
sure
gonna
that
say
Sony gave them a bunch of money and said we would like to put this on PlayStation 4 because they're not putting it on Xbox.
Okay.
So
So it's a PlayStation Plus game, or is it just a
Yes.
free to play? Oh, okay.
nope,
Okay.
PlayStation Plus.
All right. All right, then
Yep, one of the free ones.
I will have to check that out.
Very good.
I like it.
Yes, and those two are really all I've been playing this week.
Okay. Phil,
Yes.
you want to tell us about what you've been playing?
And that's okay.
Oh, somebody else has come in.
That is okay.
Let's
Who are you?
Freaky the Monster.
You're Frankie the Monster
What?
from Monster High.
No, I'm Isabella.
Oh, you're.
Oh, okay.
You say
That
hi.
makes more sense.
Hi.
Say hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, we're waving to you.
Hello,
Yeah,
hello,
there's-
hello.
She is visibly creeped out.
All right. I'm going to mute my microphone again.
Okay.
All right,
Don't talk about Splatoon until I come back.
Okay.
Okay.
Phil's
So,
going to tell us.
did you guys get a chance to play Splatoon?
Oh my God! Let's talk about Splatoon.
Let me tell you, that game. I picked up. Most of the stuff I played this week is old, but the one newish. I don't know exactly when it came out.
Last fall.
Okay then. Was Splatoon.
Oh, no.
No, I picked up for the Steam Roundabout. You've seen
Roundabout.
this game. Have you heard about this?
It's
game?
like Crazy Taxi, but different.
It's not at all like Crazy Taxi. It
That's how
presents
it's
itself.
different.
It, it presents itself like it is just like Crazy Taxi, but you know what it is, and Mike, I know you're a fan. It's exactly like Kuruin.
Yeah.
Mike has no idea what I'm talking
I'm
about.
familiar. I'm familiar.
Well, I know
I
you're
think-
familiar.
Speaking my language.
It's an old Game Boy Advance Nintendo title. There was also a GameCube version. I don't think any of them came out in the U.S. Europe got a couple of them.
Yeah.
But the U.S. did not. Basically, it is a game where you control a constantly rotating stick, or in this case, a constantly rotating limousine, and you need to maneuver it very carefully through a maze full of obstacles and in
Would you say that
roundabout.
maze is streets?
Well, in this one, the maze is definitely streets and sometimes
alright.
back alleys and people's backyards and
Uh-huh.
all sorts of stuff. And you know the kind of cute gimmick about this one is that they present it as though it's a cheesy 1970s sort of action movie about a limousine driver who has to get all of her fares to their proper location.
Okay.
So there's lots of full motion video with some really really bad acting. Although the bad acting is it's deliberate in this case,
Okay.
but it's pretty funny. It's a fun little game, and I
It
like.
sounds a bit like a Crazy Taxi ripoff.
You'd think so, but it plays.
Huh.
The gameplay. I don't want to say it's exactly like Crazy Taxi, but it's not at all like it.
Hmm.
Now, if you know what, let's say take Crazy Taxi, okay,
Yeah.
and then turn it into Kuruin, and then you'll have Roundabout.
Good.
So
Uh-huh.
I made a huge mistake there. I apologize.
yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
There you
It
go.
was on the sale. They had that's the Humble store. The Humble Bundle store had a sale version of it. And
It's also after the Xbox One, I believe.
oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I would not know, not having one.
Indeed.
So,
What else you got there?
jeez, you're rushing me through here. My goodness. Oh,
That's right.
you know what? Is Greg back?
I'm
Is
back.
he Greg there? Is he there?
Yeah, he's there.
Okay. I'm going to talk about this then because it's Genesis related. And I know you like your Genesis.
I've been known to play a Genesis game or two.
I believe I may have mentioned on the show before that I would really like to play Crusader of Senti,
Mm-hmm.
the sort of action RPG that came out for the Genesis kind of late in the system's life, I believe.
Yep.
And very hard to find over here in the U.S.
US and A?
Canada. Yes, and very pricey to find now. Cart alone tends to go for about $150 to $200. You can tack on another $150 or so if you want the box and manual. And I do not have that much money to spend on Crusader of Sente.
Not with all that Lego stuff to buy.
Exactly.
That's right.
And boy, let me tell you, Portal 2 coming to Lego Dimensions. Just throwing that in there.
Pretty amazing.
We're getting a little Chell minifigure, little companion cube Lego piece.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, so what I ended up doing, and I know people are going to say, but Phil, there are certainly other ways you can play this game. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. But, I'm not going to pirate. I don't want to pirate. I want to play. I want to play it legit.
You want a bootleg?
I want a bootleg. So, what I did was I found the Japanese version on the eBays, and it's not. The Japanese version is significantly cheaper. I went the Kevin Larrabee route of buying the Japanese versions that are cheaper, as opposed to spending a small fortune on the Western releases. Got the Japanese version, downloaded a Japanese to English patch, and I'm now playing it on the Retron 5.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Yeah, it lets you apply patches, and it just turns the game into the US version, really. It's like the title screen is changed and everything, so it's a fun little game so far.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of Zelda-ish, going around hack and slashing.
Yeah.
The sort of gimmick seems to be that you meet animals along the way, and then you gain new abilities by having these animals teach you new powers, and some animals will join your party, and you can use them to attack and defend you and such. So, seems like a pretty fun game.
I remember playing that back when it came out. I don't have major memories of it because, like you said, it was right sort of at the end of the system's life. But
Right.
I remember liking it. I remember thinking it's very much a Zelda game.
Yeah. So I do not mind playing a Genesis Zelda game.
For sure. Cool.
And then I got a couple of Mega Man-ish games this past week. I picked up Mega Man and Bass for the Wii U Virtual Console. This is the GBA version, which was a port of a Japan-only release.
I would love to get the Super Nintendo version. Wasn't it a Super Nintendo game? Originally?
Yes, it was a Super Famicom.
Yeah, that's what I
game.
mean. Sorry.
Yeah, did not leave Japan, and actually, I thanks to CJ of all people, CJ was the one who snagged me that copy of Rockman and Forte.
That's right.
For the Super Famicom back when it first came out. And hey, speaking of Retron 5 and English language patches, that's one I was just playing with the other day.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
So now my Super Famicom Rockman and Forte is now Mega Man and Bass. So that is fantastic.
Cool. Don't you mean Mega Man and Bass?
No, I do not. I'm not.
You don't
This is
subscribe
not-
to that theory.
This is not the English voice dub of Mega Man 8. Dr. Wowie. But for those who don't know, Mega Man and Bass was a SNES game. It's basically Mega Man 8.5. Reuses most of the bosses, and the graphics are definitely based on Mega Man 8. So fun
It's
little game.
also a Megan Trainor song.
I am going to take your word for that, Mike.
Okay. The kids get that joke.
Has Weird
Only
Al
the
done a
kids.
parody of that song?
Fucking.
It's called All About That Forte.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I like it. I like it.
I know the tune then. Yeah.
All right. And
But,
what else did you get?
The other Mega Man game is actually a bit more exciting because
I don't see how it could be.
well, let me tell you.
The way Phil's about to describe it is
This whole-
going to be so exciting.
Honestly, like if you're not watching this on YouTube,
Yeah.
you're losing so much of the story because Mike's face through all of this pure gold. And just,
I
Mike
only
does
I only
not
pay
care.
attention when you guys are talking about games that may have Lego sets associated with them.
Well, hey, listen to this. Did you know that Mike,
Sir.
Lego Dimensions, they're going to have Doctor Who sets?
But which Doctor?
Well, right now it's the current one. It's the Peter Capaldi. You could
Well,
have a very
I'm okay with
own-
that.
You could have an official Peter Capaldi Lego
I'm
minifigure.
good with that. I would not have him be Doctor Who though. As
Well,
you
you
know.
could,
Yeah.
you could just pop his head and hair off and toss it onto a different body.
I want a Malcolm Tucker Lego figure.
You know what? You could give him Spider-Man's body.
that's close.
I
Because why
don't
not?
remember Malcolm Tucker wearing a Spider-Man costume, although
I'm-
that could have made the show pretty amazing.
But just out of nowhere this week, the Misadventures of Tron Bonne showed up on PSN as a PS1 classic, which is good news for a lot of people because that game was not released in super huge numbers, and it's crazy expensive to get a hold of these days if you want a physical copy. So now you can get it for like $6. It's the
It's a pretty great deal.
spin-off / prequel to the Mega Man Legends series, where you are controlling Tron Bonne, the evil pirate gal.
This sounds misadventurous already.
It definitely is. And her army of 40 adorable Servbots that kind of look like Lego minifigures, so this is all tying right into each
Wow.
other. And it's a fun little game. It's a very fun little game.
It's a PS1 game.
It is a
Yes.
PS1 game.
Those generally
Look
don't
terrible.
look so good.
Yeah.
It's, you
Yeah.
know what? You need to be a fan of low poly counts and big blocky textures.
Yeah.
So, personally, I find
Fans
that
of big blocky textures
Yeah.
rejoice.
I do
Yikes.
find a certain charm in the, maybe not so much Mega Man Legends 1, but Legends 2 and Tron Bonne, I think, hold up fairly well, all things considered, just because the graphics are stylized in such a way that the low polys and big blocky textures work for the game as opposed to again it.
I see.
But yeah, it's a fun little kind of action adventure game with some resource management stuff tucked in there because you gotta talk to the little serve bots and befriend them and help them boost their abilities, and you can send them out on scouting missions while you're off on your own missions, and it's actually pretty cool. It's a fun little game. Way worth the $6.
I had fun with it back in the day when it was released.
Yeah,
I think
see?
I reviewed it for EGM.
Did you really?
So, yeah.
So you probably played a good hour or so. What
Played more than that.
Uh,
I don't remember what I gave it.
Oh, okay.
But,
7.5.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a good
So,
game.
There you go.
It's a really good game, and yeah, now that you can get it for less than
All right.
$200-300.
Yeah.
Yep,
Hey, Greg.
that's it.
Yo.
We both played the Splatoon Global Test Fire, didn't we?
Test fire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me
so
ask you a question
Nintendo-
about this real quick.
Yeah.
Ask away.
So this was like a demo, right? It
Yes.
was basically a playable demo of the game, but you could only play it for like at a set hour or something like that.
That
Or
is
4
correct.
hours, I think. Four
Three.
different hours. 3 different hours.
Yeah.
I hate. This is why I don't play games where I have to be in a clan and other players rely on me. I cannot.
Well, to be fair, speaking for the other players who might have to rely on you, we thank you for not playing these games.
well, that's okay. No, yeah, I mean it's mutually beneficial. I'm not saying it's not.
Sure, sure.
But yeah, I just cannot play games on a schedule like that. But go on.
Right. So yeah, Nintendo had a Splatoon Nintendo Direct last Thursday, announcing the Global Test Fire demo, and 3-hour-long sessions from Friday night to Saturday.
When you say 3-hour long, you mean
Yeah.
Three sessions that were an hour long each.
Three-
Okay. Okay.
3 sessions.
Okay.
That's a pretty limited demo.
That is an extremely limited demo, but I think the purpose of it was to stress test the servers. So wrangling all of the players into 3-hour-long chunks worked for that purpose. Right? Maybe?
I would say so, considering all the connection errors we were getting at the beginning.
At the beginning, yeah, plenty of that. And then
Did they get better though? By the
It did.
third?
Even by the first 10 minutes, it got better.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Did it in any way serve the purpose of making someone want to spend $50 to play it?
Not if you didn't already.
Yeah.
If you're not sold on that concept, if you were like on the fence, then yes, I could see it definitely swaying you. But if I don't think you're even on the fence for that, Mike. So I
don't own the console, which is sort of a hurdle.
But what I guess I'm
Slight
saying is,
hurdle.
yeah, if you're not even on the fence about it, then I don't think this is going to change your mind.
Right.
Yeah. How many of the sessions did you go to there, Greg?
I was only able to go to one. The second one fell directly in the middle of my son's hockey practice, and the third one fell directly in the middle of the dinner for my mom for Mother's Day. We did it a day early, so which kind of sucked because my son in particular is really excited about this game, and I was so hoping that one of the sessions would fall in a time when he could actually play. And unfortunately, that wasn't the case. So
That is too bad.
Hmm.
Yes. So what are your impressions there, Greg?
Well, I thought it was effing hilarious because we were part of a crew of people that were sort of tweeting back and forth leading up to the first hour, and then I think to a person we all got the server is full error, like literally 10 seconds after the test fire started. So, but after that only lasted a couple minutes, and then there were like various error message for that first couple minutes, and then I was able to get in and play, and it's a very seamless experience to get going. You basically just get to choose from 4 different weapons, which are really 4 different weapon types, and it's 4-on-4, and it's kind of madness after that.
Yes.
But I really enjoyed it, although I have to say that even by the end of the first hour, I don't want to say yet that it's not balanced, but it's definitely easiest to use the paint roller.
Yeah.
And I was getting ticked because everybody was using it, so it just became like you get contests between 2 teams of 4 just using the paint rollers, and it's like, yeah, okay, but now I'm not really getting to learn the other weapons. So
I have found, so for people who don't know, the goal of the game, it is 4-on-4, but it's not a deathmatch game.
No.
It is about covering the level in your color paint.
Ink,
yes. And so the paint roller is the most effective tool for the job. You just run around coating the floor. Now, the problem with the roller character is that they can only roll the floor. They can't like shoot the wall or then go up the wall unless somebody else has already done that for them, right?
Right, and the other thing is too, they're pretty vulnerable.
They're very
they have
vulnerable.
no projectile weapon whatsoever, so unless they roll over you, they can't hurt you.
Well, they can roll over you, or if they let their finger off the trigger for a second and press it again, then you do like a little splat.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
There you go.
But you're right that it did feel a little bit overpowered, while I think the players who were in the game didn't really know how to deal with that weapon.
Right.
It's pretty easy to like back up and shoot, take somebody out who's using the roller, because you can take cover in your color ink. So you just kind of go under
Right.
You actually go faster when you're underneath your ink, and so you can back away for a second and get a good shot in.
And see, the problem was is by the end of even that first hour, everybody was using the rollers, so none of that was
Yeah.
happening. So it was literally just people bulldozing each other, hoping
That's
that they
true.
would win.
That's true. That was not the case in the second and third hour.
Okay, good. I'm
Where,
happy about that.
People had gotten a hang of the weapons, and I went up against a team of 4 roller players, and they did not win. So
Cool.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean the whole point is to cover the area with your ink, and the 4 different weapons you had was kind of a short range, rapid fire, which
Pistol.
again pistol,
Shotgun.
which could cover the area with ink, but it was difficult. And then you had sort of a longer range, like machine gun style weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had a sniper rifle, which was kind of neat, although really difficult to master, I think, because it's a charged shot weapon. The nice thing is that when you shoot it, it leaves a trail of ink behind it, so it's sort of covering a bigger area, but it's harder to use. And of course, you kind of need to know the levels, and you need to get up high to use it effectively, I think. And then that ink roller, which was just sort of a monster that first night.
Yeah. I really like the gameplay in this one, especially being able to spawn from the spawn point. You can tap on the gamepad and go to where any of your teammates are, so you can look at the map. You have an overview of where you need to be, where the problem areas might be, and you tap on that player and jet right to them. It's great.
Yeah,
I like
and
that
I
a
mean,
lot.
there's going to be a lot of strategy involved. I mean, an hour wasn't enough to learn it all, but even based on that and on the direct, knowing things like you move twice as fast when you're swimming, you can obviously swim up walls, you can take cover, and that sort of thing. And then in the Nintendo Direct they were also talking about different weapons you can get, because you can also get like grenades and that sort of thing that sort of splat ink everywhere, or mines that can be tripped and to splat ink everywhere. And
Yep.
there was also one, I think, that you could use kind of like that spawning thing where it's a beacon. So if
Yeah.
you set that beacon, all your players from any spot in the level can jump straight to there.
Yep.
So there's going to be a lot of interesting stuff to do in that game and techniques to learn. So I was actually I was a little bit worried about it when I played that, and even despite the fact that by the time I was done playing it was like roller heaven. I really, really enjoyed what I played, and it was. I mean, once the connection was solid, the matches, they're only 3 minutes long.
Very fast. Yeah.
And you jump straight back in if you want,
Mhm.
or you just in that game you could just back out, choose a different weapon, and jump in. But I mean, the experience was good, even with some of
Yeah.
those connection issues. The experience was really good, really fast.
Yeah, very fast, and they have this mini game that you can play in between matchmaking, and you can actually continue. So you finish a round, go into it, and start another round. When you come back, you'll be at the same spot in this little mini game that you were before. It's kind of fun. Kind
Oh,
of
I didn't even realize you were in the same spot again.
Yeah. So I guess they have like 4 or 5 different mini games that you can play in between matchmaking rounds.
Right.
So there's no downtime if you want to play that mini game.
The patent has expired, apparently.
Yeah. Well, wait. Didn't Namco have a patent on it while there was loading going on, like
That's
load
what
time?
it was, I think. Yeah.
Not matchmaking.
Oh, okay. Well, then the patent doesn't apply then.
Entirely different thing. And it automatically stops you when a match is found and all that good stuff. But yeah, I really liked the game.
Yeah, and the only thing that I was really struggling with, and this is, I mean, I have to say, I'm glad. I was a little worried. So when you by default, left stick moves, right stick swivels the camera, and that's it. And then you actually aim. You adjust your aim by moving the controller around.
That's correct.
And the first time I played it, I was like, "Oh wow, I don't think I'm going to be able to deal with this." It just feels really counterintuitive at first, but to Nintendo's credit, you can actually go in and change it to a more traditional style.
Yeah, you can turn it off.
Yeah, console 3D shooter. But then the question is sort of setting the sensitivity where you want it, because I set the sensitivity really high at one point and it was too much. And then I set it back down to 0 and it wasn't quite fast enough. You definitely, if you can master that gyro aiming, you're going to be at a big advantage, I think. But
Yeah, huge.
yeah,
I mean, it's like the aiming in Majora's Mask, which I thought was really, really good.
yeah, I guess it is. Yeah,
Right. So, and it's very, it's light movements. It's not like you have to make big, sweeping movements with the gamepad.
that's the thing to learn. That's the hardest bit of the learning curve, I think.
Yeah. True, but looking forward to the end of this month when this game comes out. I figured that Nintendo would, after this sort of test, open up more times to play because they've created this demo. You're really going to only use it for 3 hours. But
The question is, can you download it again?
apparently they took it off the eShop, so that's
I guess not.
doesn't look like that's going to be the case. All right. So
A lot of that going around.
Yeah. Yeah, Greg, you want to talk about the other stuff you've been playing?
Yeah. So I got to Chapter 2 of Broken Age, so I've been playing that. I think I'm about an hour into it. It's definitely. Have you been playing it, Phil? You haven't tried it?
No.
It's
I
definitely
have not.
feels more old school adventure game. Not
Okay.
necessarily in a bad way, but it's like the puzzles are definitely a little more involved. Because I found in the
Okay.
first chapter that you kind of just you could move forward and there wasn't really anything
Okay.
impeding too much.
I have to sit down and play the first part. Anyway.
I would suggest it if you haven't
Yeah.
played it in quite a while because there's a lot of little things that I had totally forgotten even took place in the first chapter.
Hmm.
So I'm glad that I went back and played it again because there were bits in there that I totally, even when I played through it the second time, I really didn't get what the connection was going to be. Not only had I forgotten that those events had happened, but like when you start the second chapter, a lot of stuff becomes so clear so fast
Mm.
that you kind of want it fresh in your mind. So yeah, definitely worth going back and playing. But I've been playing as Shay so far in Chapter 2, and of course he's well, I don't know. I'm not going to spoil any of it for anybody who hasn't played it. But yeah, the puzzles are much more sort of classic LucasArts style adventure puzzles like you would see, I'd say, in like a Maniac Mansion or Loom. Not even Loom. I think Loom was a little easy, but you know what I'm saying. Monkey Island, those games.
Right.
I heard some complaints that one of the puzzles was a little bit too old school, like you had to write things down and keep notes and stuff like that. And I think that I've just done that puzzle. People were complaining that you had to go like from one end of a world to another over and over again. If the puzzle I just did is what people are complaining about, I really don't see the problem with it. But maybe I haven't actually hit that point yet. But I know there have been some complaints going around that there's one puzzle in particular in this second chapter that people are just like not happy with at all. We'll see. So far, I've hit nothing that's been a major snag, but it's definitely more of a okay, let's go really look around, and I have to go to a bunch of different screens as opposed to in the first chapter. Phil, you'll probably remember that you were never more than one or two moves away from figuring out what you were supposed to be doing next.
Right.
So, if you had any experience with adventure games. But yeah, so hoping to finish that this week. And I also played a couple of PlayStation Plus games. I was away from the mic there when Michael was talking about Ether 1. Ether 1?
Yep.
So, yeah. Sounds really cool. I have to play that. But I do love that there's a couple of older games that I kind of skipped over on PlayStation Plus this month, and one of them is The Unfinished Swan, which
I really like that game a lot.
I was always so interested in, and it just kind of I didn't grab it when it came out, and it got to the point where it was so old I just wasn't really thinking about it anymore. So yeah, I've put like a little over an hour into that now, I think, maybe a couple hours. I absolutely love it.
It's great. It's
So
not
far.
very long. It's probably 3 hours long total. if
Okay.
that. So you may be close to the end. Not
It's
even realize it, but
it's
great.
interesting. It's interesting to me because I sort of assumed that the whole game was kind of like the beginning of the game, which I had played before.
No, and it changes really quickly.
It does, and it's like it's a sort of a complete change. I mean, the
Mhm.
mechanic's the same, but just because the visuals are different, it feels like a completely different game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really digging it. And man, some of the scenes in that game are just
Mm-hmm.
nuts. Like I just went through the maze in front of the castle,
Right.
sort of going through that area, and man, there's one point where you get up on a wall and you look down over this gigantic maze, and it's just such an amazing visual.
Yep.
The
Yeah,
game's
that's an
beautiful.
excellent game.
Yeah. And the other one that came out on PlayStation 1 that I played through this week was Murasaki Baby.
I really like that game too.
Yeah. I remember you talking about it, and man, it's as good as you said it was.
It's weird, but
It's weird,
fun.
but it's a great Vita game too.
Tis. That's what I played it on.
Yeah, so I'm going to go over this again because it's been a while since Mike talked about it, but the whole premise is you're actually leading this toddler by the hand through these different levels. It's mostly a puzzle game, although there's some action elements to it. So it's all done via the touch screen and the back touch. The entire game is played that way, except for one section, which is kind of bizarre. But you basically grab her hand, and you pull her along, and she very much acts like all of us would understand, like a toddler acts. When she's happy, she walks along with you. She kind of toddles along, and she's not very fast. And if you pull too hard, you can trip her up. She'll fall over. But then if she gets scared, it's a little bit different because she's actually actively pulling away from you. So she won't run the other way or anything like that, but she moves very slow while she's trying to resist you pulling her. And then there's also sections where, like especially when she learns how to jump, if she sees something she can jump over, she gets really excited and she runs and she jumps over it and she sort of dances around and makes happy sounds. But then the only other thing that you really control on the for the front screen is her balloon, which is her life bar. She's carrying a balloon with her the whole time, a little heart-shaped balloon. And it can be used for a couple of different things, like you activate kind of switches by matching it to scenes in the background. But then you also have to be careful of things like if you walk past a fire, you have to actually pull the balloon up a little bit so that it doesn't pop. Or if you walk under spikes, you have to pull the balloon down a little bit to make sure it doesn't pop on those. And she'll lose the balloon once in a while, and you have to grab it and give it back to her. But then where the variety really comes in is as you go through each level, and they're all kind of little self-contained stories, you earn the ability to swap backgrounds by swiping across the back touch, and it totally will change the way the levels work. And then if you tap the back touch, there's usually an ability in that background. So like if you swipe into a cold background, you can tap the back touch and like it'll get really windy and things will freeze up. So if there's water you have to cross, it'll freeze that water. But it also freezes your balloon, so you have to be careful with that. Or you can turn a balloon into stone, which if you do that on like an elastic band, when you swap back to another world, the balloon isn't stone anymore and it shoots her up into the air for a high jump, that sort of thing. But it's a cool little game, and it's only like a couple hours long.
Yeah, it's all really clever, and you would think that the fact that you only control it with the front touch and the back touch would be terrible, but I thought the controls were excellent through the whole thing. I never really fought against them.
Exactly, and you feel like it would be extremely restrictive.
Yeah.
And it's not. There's actually a ton of gameplay variety, and it's all extremely clever and extremely cute, and yeah, I really, really dug it.
Yeah, it's
a nice game to get for free.
Yes. There are a lot of those.
Yeah, this is a good month. This is a good PlayStation Plus month.
Definitely.
For sure.
Is that it?
I think that was it.
All right. I played a very little bit of Wolfenstein: The Old Blood because the New Order still won't install on Xbox One. But
so you taught them a lesson by buying their subsequent game.
That's right.
Fuck you guys! I'm going to give you more money.
That's right. And
vote with your wallet, CJ. That's
I am
say.
all about that. You know that. But this is one of those games where as you're walking around, there's a lot of like head bobbing to it, and it gives me a motion sickness. Is
it because it has a dope beat, or is it more just about trying to simulate?
It's trying to simulate the walking. You see.
Okay.
Yeah. So it gives me a one of them headaches.
Wow.
CJ, if we all did
this, the first game won't install, so you gave them money for the second game, which makes you want to vomit.
That's exactly it.
This is fantastic.
If we all did this while we were talking during the show, would we see you throw up on air?
Probably.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Phil's into it.
Look, Mike's going to make good radio.
Suddenly, I feel like I'm in the night at the Roxbury. Uh, but so I played a little bit of that, and it seems cool. I got to take some Dramamine before the second attempt.
Is that right, CJ?
Night at the Roxbury
Oh.
is an answer in the future Jeopardy category of shit only Phil and CJ have seen.
You know what?
I've
I've
never
never
seen
seen it.
Bull.
I've never seen it
Never
either.
seen it.
Well, you're not
Don't
going to get that
believe
one
either.
correct then.
There you go. Alrighty. So, Greg, you have a little thing you want to tell us about? Tell
Yes.
us about here?
So I have been the last couple of weeks I've mentioned it. I'm going to be partaking in the 8-Bit Salute this week. Actually, this May 17th, and what that is the marathon gaming event tied to Operation Supply Drop. And this is the first year that I've actually taken part in Operation Supply Drop, and I just know that it's a very good cause, but I didn't really know a whole lot about it. So I actually got a chance to speak to somebody from Operation Supply Drop this past week, and I recorded a little, probably about 15-minute interview. It's with a guy named, I gotta go find it, where is it? Nate Serafine. So yeah, we're gonna run that right now, and be back soon.
Be back in 2 and 2.
Hmm.
Did you get that reference? No? Alrighty. And we're back. In case you forgot, you're listening to the Player One podcast.
Breaking out the classics.
That's right. I think it's time to go to the tweets. And we start with an email. Because that's just the way we roll. From friend of the show, Hacker Alias, @Pete Dodd, who emailed us in because his thoughts were too long for a tweet. He says,
Another 15 minutes.
now that The Witcher 3 is out in the wild, it's clear that there's been a downgrade, even on PC set to Uber, from previous videos. When a company with as great a reputation as CD Projekt Red is taking part in this stuff like this, should we just take all pre-release videos with a huge grain of salt?
Yes.
My feelings are that yes, we should. I also think that my feelings on that will go out the window when I see something incredible looking at E3. At the end of the day, the graphics downgrade isn't a huge deal to me in terms of actually playing the game. It still looks good, and I'm excited for it, but man, when CDPR is doing this stuff, it just makes me shake my head. Also, Seward bored them with talk about Project Cars. Looking forward to seeing you on track.
That's for next week.
You're going to get it on the PlayStation, I assume?
Yes. It apparently runs noticeably better on the PlayStation 4. And
Wow.
supports the wheel that I have on the PlayStation
Well,
4, so I'm very excited.
That's the selling point right there.
What do you guys think about the downgrade, The Witcher 3?
Regardless of the developer or the publisher or whoever,
Yeah.
I am never surprised when the actual game doesn't look as good as the pre-release videos suggest.
When did we just went through this with something, didn't we? Was it The Order, or was it there was some other game that we just went
I
through
don't
this
know.
with?
It's every game. That's why it doesn't
Basically.
surprise me anymore. It's pretty much every game.
It doesn't look as good as the videos.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
But that's still going to be a damn good-looking game because The Witcher 2 is still a damn good-looking game. So
Right.
I'm assuming that The Witcher 3 will be just fine.
But it doesn't look as good as it did
Right.
during development, when things can change and engines can change and optimizations have to happen and, all that.
And marketing exists.
Right.
What are you
reason.
talking about?
Wait, don't you
Marketing?
work in marketing?
I do.
You're the
Marketing and
problem.
advertising. I'm an advertising weasel. Yep. I always overpromise and underdeliver. That is my mantra. Just ask the ladies.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
No, but I
What?
think that this happens so much. Aren't we? Aren't we used to it by now?
Should be. I am.
Yeah.
I've just taken to not watching every single video that comes out on some of these games.
Yeah,
Like,
I do that too.
I'll watch the announced trailer. I'll watch the launch trailer, and then everything in between, I pretty much just shut out. You know, I don't need to see it until it's a month away or less. Know what I'm saying?
Yep. I agree with
Exactly.
you.
And I encourage everybody to do the same. All right, Hacker Alias Rich Grisham.
Ooh,
Who's that guy?
says-
Hmm.
He says, "What's your anticipation level for E3 now that it's next month?"
I loved Anticipation.
Yeah,
It's my favorite Rare game.
great game.
What do you think?
I don't know much about what I'm even expecting to see at E3 this year, but I always get excited around E3 time. I always
It's a-
get hyped to the point that I watch all the pressers and all that stuff.
Same here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I like to know about the new games that I will want to play in a year's time once they are delayed.
I like to
Once or
pre-order
twice.
all the games I want to play in 3 years' time.
Exactly. So yeah, I'll be watching all the press conferences just like everybody else. I'm sure.
Be interesting to see if Nintendo does something similar to what they did last year with the Treehouse stuff.
Yeah, they really haven't said whether, because at this time last year they said they weren't going to do a press conference, right?
Yeah, that's true. They had announced by now, I think, that that they
haven't-
wouldn't be.
They haven't said anything about this year.
And then also if anybody else sort of follows up with, I mean, I'm sure Sony and Microsoft will still have their main press conferences. I'm sure Ubisoft will as well, but
I think Bethesda is this year as well.
but I'm curious to see if any of them doing like more company-specific extended coverage through the entire show, like Nintendo did last year, because that was really good.
Yeah.
They did a great job last year, and it got me excited for a lot of stuff that they were talking about. And even if I wasn't excited about the game, it was usually interesting to watch and listen to what they were talking about.
Exactly. E3, can we all agree that E3 is better sitting at home and not actually
Oh,
being at the show?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. All right, Hacker Alias Raimi Bose.
I know that guy.
He says, what would you guys recommend as a resource to import Japanese games? Looking for Puyo Puyo Tetris for Xbox One.
Just
What do you think?
send Kevin Larrabee some PayPal money.
There you
Take
go.
care of you.
There you go.
Kevin actually swears by Amazon Japan.
Yeah, but you can't order. I don't think you can order games through them.
No,
you can
I
order
think-
soundtracks.
Oh, is it just
Books.
soundtracks? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
books
I,
and
don't know,
soundtracks.
I use eBay for almost everything. I don't really know.
I
PlayAsia?
PlayAsia.
have not really bought import games in a while that wasn't like just
Pirated?
a one-off through eBay. No, how dare you? But I used to buy all of my import stuff from NCSX.
Are they still around?
I
Yeah.
think they are.
Oh, wow.
They definitely are.
So
I
there you
ordered
go.
from PlayAsia a couple of times.
Yeah, I've
And
ordered from
that
them
was
once or
good.
twice too.
Yeah,
So there you go. There's a couple of good starting points, I think.
Yeah.
I think so. All right.
Perusi Yatsura masking tape. Why do I not visit NCSX.com daily? Masking tape covered with lum. CJ.
Yeah.
Covered with what?
Lum.
I'm still pretty sure
Parmesan.
that Kevin Larrabee would get it to you faster
Probably.
and furiouser.
That's a definite.
Well,
He'd hit the
obviously
nitro.
that.
He'd hit the nitro on that. All right, Hacker Alias FOMO Gamer says,
Yeah,
have
How many
you-
FOMO.
gamers? Oh,
In
okay.
episode Fo
says, have you covered the retro VGS yet? You guys hear about this?
I think we called it an April Fool's joke
I think we did. So
a couple episodes ago.
one of the editors of Retro Magazine, right?
He's like one of the founders of Retro Magazine.
Yeah, something like that. Is making a new console using the Atari Jaguar plastic shell, and it doesn't play like NES games or Super Nintendo games or things like that, but it plays retro-styled new games
Yeah.
on cartridges.
On cartridge, yeah.
Did they buy all of those shells from like a dental supply surplus?
Well, apparently the dental, what was it, a camera, I believe,
Yes.
I think it was.
that used the shell. Apparently they updated their shell, so they stopped using the Jaguar shell. So I'm guessing they just bought the mold.
Yeah,
from
they
them.
bought the mold, I think.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah,
No,
so the
I-
idea is they
It's-
want.
This thing's going to be a Kickstarter, and I don't know.
It's an
What
interesting
is-
idea.
They wanna-
Point.
They're trying to talk companies into producing cartridges, right?
Yeah.
That's correct.
'Cause this isn't like, oh, take your SNES games
Good luck.
and pop them in here and play your old SNES games. This is, hey, Capcom, you guys should really put out Mega Man 11 on a cartridge.
Well,
and
the two things that I've been talking about are Retro City Rampage, which I know all of you really love, and Shovel Knight.
right, which can already be played on every
Everything.
system out there. So
Well, no, but it's
Yeah.
not. My understanding is this is not to take away from those games being released elsewhere.
Right, it's to
just
give a
have
true
physical
retro
copies
experience.
of these games in a truly retro style. Which,
Yeah.
like I said, interesting idea. I don't know how you make it viable, but
Or
I mean,
why people would want to experience that or buy
or
it.
what company would agree to?
That's what I mean.
Yeah, it's really cost effective to start creating cartridges again.
We have 8,000 eager buyers lined up for you.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess they're going to do a Kickstarter, and good luck to them on that.
Best of luck.
Yeah. All right. Hacker Elias Zakal says, so with all the remastered versions coming out, where the hell is the Viva Pinata reissue? I liked that game at the time.
At the time,
I'd play it again, I guess. But I could just break out the copy I still have on the Xbox 360. That was a damn beautiful game, though, even on the 360.
I feel nothing for that game. I never have.
Never. Same here.
Yeah.
All right. Hacker Alias Thorbon 3 says, what kind of Nintendo ride would you want to ride at the theme park? The more obscure, the better.
So now I'm trying to think of some silly, obscure thing.
How about the Urban Champion Street? I want to go on the backlot tour. Urban Champion Street. Yeah.
Actually,
I want to
actually
do
have a
Balloon
fight
Quest
there.
with real electricity.
What's that?
I want to do the what is it, balloon fight? I want to do the quest mode of that with real electricity.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to. It's like bumper cars,
Uh-huh.
but instead of bumper cars, you are riding atop giant versions of those little vacuum cleaners that Nintendo made. Those little remote control vacuum cleaner robots from back in the day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
What about a real life Pokemon Snap? Where
That sounds terrible.
Hey.
They give you little cameras and they have you go through this little like ride area and you have to take
Yeah,
pictures
yeah.
and get points. But yeah, is that a bad idea?
You realize all they're doing is taking, if they have go-kart tracks there, they're just repainting all their go-karts to look like Mario Kart, right?
That's right. All right. Hacker Alias Nintendo Drive says, almost time for E3. What unannounced games are you hoping to see? I'm pulling for Metroid and a new Bioshock. A new Bioshock.
Really?
Maybe
'cause-
you meant to say Fallout.
Hmm.
Say Fallout.
My answer is the same as it is every year. I hope it's something I've never heard of before.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
I like that. I wouldn't mind seeing something Metroid, but probably not going to happen.
I want to see the first teaser of Gran Turismo 7, so I know that it's only 5 years away.
It'll be out on the PS5. Actually, no, it'll be out
Years.
on
I'd
the
love to see
PS4.
Gran Turismo 7.
It'll be out on the PS4 when, like, the month after the PS5 comes out. All right. Hacker Alias and friend of the show, Night Attack 09, says, I'm currently stuck in a hospital bed after a surprise surgery. What games should I download on my Nexus tablet?
The
That's what I
surgeon
said, it's like-
snuck up behind me with a scalpel and a rib
Worst
spreader.
surprise ever.
Worst
A
surprise
rib
ever.
spreader.
I was just hanging out watching TV, and suddenly
The
a
scalpel
syringe
there.
goes in my neck, and
Well, first of all, Night Attack, you should download the complete Adult Swim games omnibus.
Omnibus.
Can you download iPad on your Nexus tablet? Because that's the first thing I would download if you want to play some games.
Yeah.
they got that surgery simulator game for.
For Android? They
Yeah,
probably do.
there you
Let me
go.
tell you about
For that
Agent Alice.
Or,
Sounds
you
good.
know, Adult Swim makes Amateur Surgeon. You could do that one too.
That'd be good. That's great when you're after a surprise surgery. That's perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's going to make
Yeah.
you feel much, much better.
Mm.
We're
Yeah, I don't
no
know.
help.
We're
Yeah, do that.
No
do
help.
that Tetris thing that they released, where you don't even have to choose where the piece goes. You just tap it, and it automatically puts it there.
Oh
That's good
man.
times.
Yeah. You
So,
could play Puzzle and Dragons and sharpen your skills for when that comes out on the 3DS later. They make that for the Nexus. Or
The things I
Final
play
Fantasy
most on
Record Keeper.
mobile are still, and I'm sure this is a function of me being 76 years old, crossword puzzles, Sudoku, Tenpenki,
Yeah.
Kokuro, all of those things are the things that I play most on mobile devices.
I think Phil's
especially
trying to
on the
show us
iPad.
something.
Look at
Puzzle and
that.
Dragons.
Speaking of Puzzle and Dragons,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
As we were.
got mine preloaded right there.
You did.
I pre-purchased it. Days until distribution starts.
You pre-
11.
You pre-purchased it?
I did. It supports preloading.
Ah.
So
All right.
it's,
I
it's-
did not know that you could do that on the 3DS.
They just started doing that. I think this may be the
Nice.
first game they've done it with.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So
So, like, in all seriousness, though, I spoke to Night Attack 09 a little bit about exactly what happened to him for his surprise
Uh-huh.
surgery, and I hope you feel better soon.
Yes.
That sounded kind of frightening. So, and
I,
he's a long time listener of the show. He's
Mm.
supported us for a long time. So, seriously, though, I hope you feel better really soon because
For sure.
you need to come
Well.
come back and play some games with us.
Yeah.
duh.
Totally. And I think somebody on Twitter who actually has a Nexus suggested some
The only one.
actual games.
Like what?
Yeah. But Final Fantasy Record Keeper was one of those that that guy suggested, and I would second that. That's a pretty good game, pretty fun little game.
You know what?
You're doing famous battles in the Final Fantasy series using characters both from who were actually in those battles and others from the series. It's pretty
That
interesting.
sounds kind of neat.
Yeah.
I was looking up Nexus games online here, and you know what? I'm gonna throw some support behind Jetpack Joyride
It's a
from
great
the
game.
good
Oh, yeah.
folks over at Half Brick. Yeah, I still enjoy playing Jetpack Joyride. So if you don't have that, get that. I believe it's free to play now as well.
I believe you're right.
So
Yeah. Alrighty. Hacker alias DN Logic says, what would have to be included in a limited/collector's edition for any of you to be interested in buying it? I'm a sucker for steelbooks and Batman, so I had to get the Batmobile edition of Arkham Knight.
I do like steelbooks, but just a steelbook's not going to make me want to pay $80 or whatever for a
Right.
game. Jeez, I don't know. I've been not
There's
really
nothing.
buying.
I think I'm
special
done with
editions
those.
anymore. Yeah.
I don't know what piece of cheap tat they could put in there that would make me pay extra. I can't imagine anything.
See, that's for me. It's not even the physical stuff anymore. It's like I think the only special editions I've bought in the last few years really are the Forza and the Gran Turismo games, and that's just to get extra cars or get like a car pass for X number of months or something like that, or like VIP to earn faster credits. So that's the stuff that sells me on those games now. But even then, it's kind of a tough sell.
Yeah.
You know what? What was it? I was trying to think of the last special edition I bought, and I did buy the special edition of Samurai Warriors 4, because that came with the
Extra button.
extra button attack. No, it came with an anime Blu-ray
Oh,
disc.
right.
You mean
Yeah.
Japanimation?
No, I mean Japanese anime. You understand?
I see.
Yeah.
Hacker alias Kurbutashi says, "Will Splatoon's seemingly short supply of content at launch kill it with reviewers? That's 5 maps, 27 campaign levels, and 2 modes."
Splatoon being
kidding?
by Nintendo and being on the Wii U will kill it with reviewers.
Yeah.
Can we remove the word seemingly short supply, because 5 maps doesn't just seem like not that many for a multiplayer game. It isn't very many for a
Now-
multiplayer game.
I mean, they did say in the direct last week that they would be adding maps every few weeks, and they sort of like quickly flipped through them, but it looked like they were basically more than doubling the content that is going to be available.
Up to 10.
But they are
More than doubling.
more than doubling, exactly.
Oh, up to 11.
Merely spacing it out over the course of the summer.
We'll be releasing the first downloadable map after everyone stops playing the game in a month.
Yeah, the two things I think reviewers are going to mention are the gyro controls,
Oh,
Mhm.
sorry.
the gyro controls, and how much they hate them. Even though so many reviewers, do the whole "what's the point of the gamepad?" You have this gamepad and you're not using it. Well, here's a game that uses the gyro controls of the gamepad, and probably we're going to see some people rip on that. The other thing is the lack of voice chat in the game, which already seems to be a cloud over this game's release, because of Nintendo and the development team, I believe, has commented that they wanted to avoid all of the negativity that has been seen in voice chat on other multiplayer shooters.
What they did not want to avoid is copping out.
Yeah, maybe. So there you have it. What do you think? What do you think, Greg?
I like it just the way it is.
I like it the way it is too. I really don't care if there's voice chat. I couldn't give a shit about that because I want to be able to play it and have fun and not have to listen to anybody else in the game. And the gyro control, you can turn it off anyway, and I think I'm going to try to play with it on. So that's all good.
Madman.
Yeah, seriously. But I expect it to get trashed by some. All right, Hacker Alias Weegraph says, "Have you had trouble with your PS4 controllers? Mine has a sticky R1, and I thought it was a fluke, but I hear it's common."
Stop playing Dead or Alive with one hand. That'll
fix that right up.
At least we know
It's-
they're left-handed.
It's a ooh. And that was a dirty joke. I'm sorry.
Let's see. Any problems with your PS4 controllers?
Mine's
No.
fine.
Nope.
Mine's completely fine as well. I haven't even had that problem. I don't know if you've seen the images online of the analog sticks kind of shredding.
Oh, right.
I've
Yeah.
not had that either. So
Yeah. I don't wear my sandpaper gloves while I play. The one problem I might have with the PS4 controller is that it's too good.
Amen, brother.
there you go. All right, let's
Hey,
finish
you know
up.
what? I'm going to say this. I'm going to throw this out there.
yeah.
That Genesis 6-button controller is fantastic.
Isn't it, though? Best
Man,
controller ever made.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
Well, I would.
Because there's the Saturn controller, the redone Saturn controller. But that Genesis 6-button pad Just feels nice.
Yeah.
Just rubbing it on the inner thigh. Yeah, it's really
Okay.
comfortable. Yeah.
All right. And Hacker, let's finish up with this one. Hacker alias Justin Brimley says, root beer or cream soda?
Root beer. Duh.
Root beer. I'm all for
Duh.
It's kind of a tough one
When-
because I got to say I love a good cream soda. But
When I was in Chicago last week,
Yeah.
I went to a place that had something on tap called Not Your Father's Root Beer,
Yeah.
Okay.
and it tasted exactly like root beer. Exactly like root beer. But it was 19.5% alcohol.
Oh man. Look at that.
I'm voting root
sounds
beer.
exactly like my father.
That was one of the most dangerous beverages I've ever
Wow.
imbibed, just
Nice.
because that you couldn't detect alcohol at all.
That's
And by the end of
insane.
that drink, I was elated to be there.
By the end of that drink, you could detect alcohol. In your system.
I could detect it in my bloodstream, as could the officer.
One sip of that, and Mike's all like
Jesus.
that.
Followed by Benny Hill music.
The officer said, "Please recite the alphabet backwards," and I said, "Z, fuck you." And then that
Who
was
knows
it.
the alphabet backwards? Come on.
ZYXWVUTSRQCONMLKJIHTFEDCBA. I do.
R.
All that
Yeah.
tells me
Wow.
is you've been through a lot of sobriety tests in your day, my friend.
I totally know
That's
the
all
alphabet.
that proves.
You should see me walk a straight line.
Imagine it's a thing of beauty.
Mhm.
I swerve a lot when I drive just so I can get pulled over. Recite the alphabet backwards.
Check out my backwards alphabet skills, officer.
See, all I'm saying is I'd probably fail a sobriety test even if I was stone sober.
I
Because
believe it.
I would struggle with going backwards.
You have that drunk look about you, though, Greg.
Yeah.
It's extreme relaxation.
Here, go ahead. Touch your nose. Touch your nose. Touch your nose.
The hairs, just
Extreme
Serenity now.
relaxation.
serenity now.
Huh.
Hey, by the way, I have one thing to bring up. So a couple weeks ago, I mentioned this book, Confessions of the Game Doctor.
Yeah.
I believe you were on that episode, Mike, and you made a joke about how you asked if it talked about debauchery at CES and things like that. Totally in there.
Sweet.
Oh yeah.
Love this book.
It just became a must-read.
Yep, you would love it, my friend.
Nice.
He's
An
old,
audiobook version?
he's old and salty, just like you.
I love it.
Amazing.
Uh,
Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you would like to ask us a question or perhaps comment on something that you heard, you can direct that to @P1Podcast on your Twitter. Or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information. And you will find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Seward. Generation 16 episodes as well.
Yep,
How's the next one coming?
it's coming.
All right. And a message board where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
if you'd like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by going to the iTunes Music Store. While you're at the iTunes Music Store, you can also invest $1.99
Cheap.
to pick up the Player One Podcast iPhone application. Gives you one-touch communication with us via the voicemail. Nudge, nudge.
What?
Huh?
Yeah?
It's a running gag now.
Oh, I see. Oh.
It's one year every week.
Yeah, the
Uh-huh.
emails, the Twitters, the what have you. We also have all our episodes ready to stream right to your listening device. And hey, Android, cell phone, telephone users, the Player One Podcast iPhone application available for your listening device as well. For that same
Holla.
for $1. Well, for
Wow.
$1.99.
Uh.
You can find that right over there at the Amazon Android Marketplace. We're also on Stitcher. You can go over to youtube.com/P1Podcast, see an archive of a bunch of our shows. You can like us on Facebook. You can join a Steam group.
We're on ICQ.
We're on ICQ. We're on. Yeah, check out our Friendster profile.
MySpace.
Classmates.com.
Yeah. We have our own
GeoCities.
Craigslist
Kijiji.
casual encounter board
Casually.
up here.
Missed connections.
Yeah. All that.
Look us up
crap.
on Tinder for the disappointment of the last time.
If you like what you heard today, and how dare you, you can always throw us a little coin to say thanks by visiting our Patreon page,
Yes.
patreon.com/P1podcast. We will take your money and then never do the game club that we promised to do.
But
Yep.
we did talk about Bloodborne.
It's that special thing we do.
We did talk about Bloodborne,
Yeah.
but when are we doing that bully
TBD.
game club?
I remember when I suggested late April, and that was a long time away.
Yeah. Sorry, folks. You didn't pin that one all on CJ.
It'll what? All
I'm
on
ready
me?
to go. I'm ready to
guys
go.
Yeah. All
I'm
right.
ready.
Let's do it.
Okay. Let's start it up right now. So, Bully,
No.
Rockstar brought up this game.
Uh-huh.
Kind of like, no. And what else? What else? I've gone off script, so now I'm completely
Stitcher,
lost. I
Facebook.
said Stitcher. I said all
everything.
that stuff.
That's
yeah,
when
we're
you
on.
say thank you to.
Oh, I gotta send people over to Generation -16 as well.
Yes.
You can throw a little extra money at Greg so he can afford that copy of Crusader of Senti when
Mhm.
he gets to that.
Yep.
Later on in.
I already spent 10 grand on that copy of Tetris a while back, so
Oh, see, there you go.
Stops.
Is that how much that game's worth?
I don't know. It's worth a lot.
Yeah. CJ's really wanting to show off his Bowser amiibo. Or
Still looking for Pac-Man.
Rawr.
I have not seen Pac-Man.
No,
in
me neither.
Yeah, I'm looking for
Hey.
Pac-Man too.
While we're in the middle of begging for money, as one NeoGAF poster would so generously put it, remember, Operation Supply Drop, 8-Bit Salute this weekend, May 17th. So I
Yeah.
won't be talking to you guys again before that.
So greedy.
Help the troops. Help support the troops and veterans through this awesome organization. Fundraise.operationsupply.drop.org/Seward. That's where you can find me. I'd like to raise at least $500. I'm at 25 right now, so I have a ways to go. I will be playing nothing but 8-bit games from 7 a.m. Eastern, May 17th, to 7 p.m. Eastern on May 17th.
Begging.
Is there any way to filter
Begging
that?
for money.
Because I would just like to support our straight, white, male Republican troops if I can.
Don't think there's a button for that.
Okay.
Is
Maybe
there-
that could be for version
Wow.
2.0.
You know, you could come watch me play Codename Viper on there.
Ah.
Yes, that's kind of
That's
the same
close.
thing.
That is close.
Yeah.
I'll look into that.
Is this supporting the Canadian troops?
It's the
Does-
American, it's the U.S. military and her allies. It supports NATO and that too. There's a Canadian presence now. So
Because
that's
I don't want to
something
be
that-
giving you guys money
But-
for body armor that you can
Phil,
use to
Phil,
defend yourself against
that's
us.
something we talked about in the interview earlier. Weren't you listening?
No.
They don't need body armor. They have free health care.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Jesus.
Oh man,
Anyway, please come support.
that sounds like a fine cause.
It is.
Yes.
Indeed.
And like I said, I'm aiming for 500 by this time next week, the end of May 17th. So please come give what you can, and come watch me play some old Nintendo and Sega Master System games. There's a whole schedule listed right on that page I just called out.
What's the page again?
Fundraise.operationsupply.drop.org/Seward.
Awesome. Not Stewart.
No.
You jackals. It's Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Leave off the T for savings. CJ,
Yeah?
thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome, Phil.
Let me ask you a question real quick here, CJ, since
What's
I got
that?
you on the horn.
The show's not long enough yet.
How do you feel about campaign finance reform? I was tweeting to the super PACs lately, and
I love it. It's great.
I know Hacker
This
Alias
is- this is
Boy
just-
wants to know as well.
This is just the beginning of the tweets that I'm going to get this election season.
If someone tries to buy your Twitter handle, take it.
Yeah,
Well, let's see how much they're offering.
I know you've been super PAC for a long time, but
I have.
now when you
It's time. Maybe
kind of took that
if offered
nickname,
the correct amount of money, there you go.
do you hate yourself for liking Super Pac-Man so much?
Yes.
Do you ever just think, man, why didn't I like Pac-Mania more? Why couldn't I have been a Pac and Pal fan?
Yeah.
Yes,
It's good that it
Pac.
happened to me, who's like the least interested in politics or any politics talk. So,
Yeah.
Perfect. All right.
You should just respond to anyone who tweets you about Super PAC
Mhm.
with I don't know, your communist rantings
Okay.
that I know you
I'll
cherish.
I'll
So,
keep that in mind.
Greg,
Yo,
thank you.
you're welcome. Hey, and CJ gave Trombone an 8, just so you know.
Oh, did he?
There you go.
Look
Yeah.
at that. Look at that. That's a fine game. Mike.
Be happy for this moment. This moment is your life.
That's it's a Dylan quote, right?
I don't know, some dumb dickhole just posted that on Twitter. I thought I'd share it.
Aww.
Is that the hacker alias? You follow somebody named some dumb tickle? What?
Let's be honest, if any of us were
I
going
need to go see if that's taken now.
Get that registered.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, then.
All right.
So I guess we'll see everyone next week.
Sure.
Okay.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Twitter.com